I often wonder if people have the ability to be objective enough to look at actual data and be truthful about things like the way Democrat-led states have responded to coronavirus and how Republican-led states have done so. For example, Florida. I go a little bit back and forth between the state of Florida and New York, so I get to see how both states are responding to COVID with lockdowns, shutdowns, or some semblance of normalcy. There is a semblance of normalcy in Florida that there is not in New York. So it's really pretty stunning to look at the difference between the way the two states and the two communities really have responded to this pandemic. But have you looked at the data? Because to listen to the mainstream media, Ron DeSantis is just some wild, out of control lunatic who has totally botched Florida's coronavirus response. But Andrew Cuomo, on the other hand, is Mother Teresa and has done everything perfectly, and the numbers are great, and everything's wonderful in New York. And of course, nothing could be further from the truth. If you put on a chart the deaths per capita, the illness, the infection rate, the economy, if you lay it all on a chart and compare Florida to California and New York, it's not even a close call. Florida has completely obliterated New York and California's response. It's not even close. But the media is never objective like that. Ron DeSantis is a Republican, so therefore has to be portrayed as some kind of a yahoo. And Cuomo, who it was literally revealed yesterday, underreported COVID deaths in nursing homes by around 50%, he gets the victory lap. He gets the book deal. He gets the Emmy Award. These clowns, even when they're faced with horrific news, like the Attorney General in New York and her scathing report showing the disastrous response by Cuomo with his mandate that nursing homes must take COVID-19 infected people, which sent thousands and thousands of elderly people to their deaths. Well, here's CNN's take last night. Honest to goodness, this came down at like 8 o'clock at night. Headline by Chris Cillizza, CNN editor-at-large. Analysis: Andrew Cuomo's COVID-19 performance may have been less stellar than it seemed. May have been less stellar. They lied about how many people died in nursing homes because they were desperate to try to cover up Andrew Cuomo's botched response to COVID. You still can't eat inside in New York City. You still can't go inside and sit down and have a bite to eat in New York City, the restaurant capital of the world. Now, if I got on a plane today and was in Tampa in a couple hours, I could go just about anywhere I wanted to and have a meal inside. And you know what's the greatest part of all? Statistically, I'm no more at risk in Florida than I am in New York. In fact, I'd probably be better off in Florida. I'm probably safer in Florida than I am in New York. But I can't go out to eat. Nope. There's no school. Nope. There's no gatherings. Nope. No weddings. Nope. Because Emperor Cuomo hasn't yet nodded towards the peasants who are trying to stay afloat despite his boot on their neck. Listen, you can get all excited about GameStop and angry about short sales and all that crap. I got to admit, I have zero relatability to that. I've got a 401k, do a little bit of trading or investing, but very little. So maybe that's why my eyes glaze over when I see people jumping up and down, excited about GameStop and short sales and Robinhood. And you know what? I worry about things like getting the country back on its feet. I worry about people getting their jobs back, their livelihoods back. I worry about people getting vaccinated and getting this damned virus in the rearview mirror. I'm not really interested in GameStop. I may have the wrong perspective. You feel free to let me know if I'm wrong. 1-800-655-MIKE. But to me, this is the kind of stuff that matters. Here was Florida Governor Ron DeSantis last night talking to Maria Bartiromo on Fox News.
I think we've done a couple things. One, we focus protection on elderly people rather than trying to shut the entire society down. So at the front end of the pandemic, I barred hospitals from discharging COVID patients back into nursing homes. That was able to save a lot of lives on the front end. And now here on hopefully the back end of the pandemic, our approach to vaccination is putting seniors first. We're focusing on our 65 and up population. We've reported over 1.1 million seniors that have gotten a shot in the state of Florida. That's almost 25% of our enormous 4.5 million senior population. And so we think that that's really important. That's where the most risk is. We also, though, understood we have to have schools open. So every parent in Florida has a right to send their kid to in-person instruction, private, charter, public, you name it. And we also say everybody has a right to work. So government, local government can't shut you down. They can't prevent you from earning a living. They can't prevent businesses from operating. And the result has been, for example, in the month of December, our revenue to the state of Florida, and we have very low tax rates, was up $330 million over the estimated revenue.
Let's see. Which governor got the Emmy Award? Which governor got the book deal? Which governor went on The View and bragged about how great he is and how smart he is and how wise he is? And then ask yourself, which governor's state lied about the COVID deaths in nursing homes? I'll give you a guess. First, 3 guesses. First 2 don't count. So Ron DeSantis banned hospitals from discharging COVID patients into nursing homes, and Governor Cuomo ordered nursing homes to accept patients who had COVID-19? And how many elderly people died in New York? And how many elderly people have died in Florida? I see. Got it. Yeah, hey, CNN, you're right. Cuomo's COVID-19 performance may have been a bit less stellar than it had seemed. These are clowns. We made it to Friday. Welcome in to the ReliefFactor.com studios. Dinesh D'Souza in a few minutes talking about his wildly successful and popular podcast, which you could reach at MikeOnline.com. We'll talk to Dinesh about New York. We'll talk about COVID. We'll talk with Dinesh about House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy's meeting with President Trump yesterday at Mar-a-Lago. What does that mean for the future of the Republican Party? But of course, as always, first things first, I want to talk with you. We made it to Friday. Let's chat. 1-800-655-MIKE. What do you make of CNN finally reluctantly admitting that, well, maybe Cuomo's performance wasn't quite so hot when it comes to shepherding the state through COVID? And how about the news about Johnson & Johnson's vaccine? The vaccine is 66% effective, according to latest studies that have just been revealed. I'm not great at math. I know that the Moderna and the Pfizer ones are like 90, 95% effective. I think 90, 95 better than 66, but hey, maybe 66 is better than nothing. And what about GameStop? Are you all excited about it? 1-800-655-MIKE. Let's dive in together.